Hi friends, I was just doing some behind the scenes planning for the Circles, Cycles, and Ceremony Inner Circle that I have coming up starting in July. And I'm just getting goosebumps over here, just going through each week and what it's going to look like and how it's going to feel and all of the goodies that I'm gathering. So I wanted to share it with you for those who are just learning about it or interested in joining us for a 10-week program of women's circles and women's wisdom to learn a little bit more about it and what the intentions are behind it. So I wanted to start with the big three goals of this program. And the first is to understand the biology of your own menstrual cycle or the cycle that you're feeling as a woman. So we all feel cycles, whether that's a menstrual cycle, following the moon, noticing the changes around us. We all have these different cycles. So the first goal is to be able to really truly understand that for you. We will have some amazing ways to track a cycle, regardless of where you are in your life. And we will find different ways so that you will be able to start to notice patterns in those and start to optimize those patterns, understanding how you work, and so that you can feel energized and productive in setting your own cycle and your own calendar in your way. Our second goal is confidence in setting boundaries so that you can create schedules and timelines without overwhelm, because you'll be creating them from within and what you know that you need during those phases. And the third goal is to find more intimacy in your life and in relationships. When we know ourselves better, when we clear resentment, when we clear frustration, when we build our own strength, we can find more intimacy in our lives. So a quick breakdown of what this will look like. There will be 10 weeks total. 5 of them will be in-person gatherings. So every other week we'll meet in person and have a gathering. And so our first week, our first chunk is all around knowledge. So we will be learning our own biology, how hormones work. We'll also be learning things like the moon cycle and the seasons of the year and the archetypes of womanhood so that we can really have this deep wisdom and knowledge. We'll also be learning how to track our cycles. So we'll go through a bunch of different ways so that you can find one that really works for you. And everyone in the program gets to choose exactly what they want to do for their own bodies. In between weeks, we'll have check-ins. So those will be through a WhatsApp group and also in partner work. So I will be checking in with everyone in the program. We'll all be talking as a group, talking about how the week went and how each of our homework assignments are going. So every time there will be a little bit of a project. These sometimes range from art projects to creating something to offer the group to finding these inner wisdom practices within yourself. Our second week is all about optimizing your patterns. So we'll start to notice patterns in our charts. We'll start to talk about how tracking can actually help you create your own schedule. And we will also be experiencing some embodied practices, some womb yoga, which is a really nourishing yoga for balancing hormones. And this will be a all levels yoga experience. And you'll get to pick and choose what you really like from those classes to be able to integrate them into your daily life and daily movement practices. Week 3 is super awesome. It is going to feel a little bit different because it will be a ceremony style, and we'll be doing a womb clearing ceremony. So this is a really special practice to release shame, release frustration, release things that we've been holding on to. And it will be a rather intense practice. It will be really held in as a group so that we can really start to release and forgive. I won't say more about that now, but if you're interested, let me know and we can talk more about that. It will definitely build as we go throughout a group so that you'll feel really contained within that experience. Because when we move on to the 4th section, after we have this big release, we'll start to really find our strengths as a group. So you will be, again, looking at the parts of your cycle and understanding what your unique strengths are and what you need during those weeks so that you will be able to walk away with this really specific way to take care of yourself. That's what starts to create this intimacy. When we can start to know our bodies really well, and then we can start to relate that to other people in our lives. We'll also have a physical practice during that week of restorative yoga for women's health, which is my favorite practice for balancing hormones, as well as taking care of your body during times of discomfort or overwhelm. And then our 5th gathering together, we'll talk about bringing all of this practice into the real world. So we will create this amazing little container within our circle, and it will feel amazing to have this strong group of women. And we will feel a contrast every time that we leave the circle and go out into this world. So we'll talk about how to take these deeply feminine practices and start to interweave them into a world that is still highly masculine and really linear. So we'll start to talk about during our last week how we can interweave these things so that we don't just have our circle and then real life, but it actually interweaves with each other. By the end, you will have a way to track and to put things on a calendar to really deeply care for yourself. You will also be able to share this information with others in your life if you choose, in a formal sense or in an informal sense. You will be talking and breathing these practices so that those around you will really wonder what it is that you know that they don't. So that's a little tidbit of what the program looks like. Please feel free to reach out with me with questions. I'd love to talk to you more about it and would love to have you in our circle. We just have room for 10 women so that we can keep this a really small, intimate circle. And I would love to have you